If this world is not real, how can we then interact with other people? And how real are they? Those of you who know me know that I use the analogy of a dream or of a computer game when I try to explain what this reality is. And today I'm gonna use both these analogies when I'll try to explain how it would be possible to interact in this reality, to have a co-experience with billions of other humans in this world without the necessity that this world would be real outside of our existence, outside of our experience. Because a lot of people think that if we meet here to interact with each other, we must meet somewhere outside of ourselves. Because only when we meet outside of ourselves we will be able to meet with each other. But when we have a dream, we have an experience on a world. Usually it's on this earth, but that earth doesn't exist. That earth is constructed inside of our dream by us. And in that dream we interact with other people. Some of them we've never met. Some of them we know. But those people also do not exist. We create them inside ourselves. For those people that we know, we use what we know of them when we are constructing them inside our dream. But we just use our knowledge of them. They physically don't exist in our dream. So basically what I'm trying to say is that when we decide to start our journey here, our life here, we construct everything. We construct this earth and we construct other people. All those things do not exist when we don't experience this reality. But how can we do that? Well, there are basically two theories. One is that everything is experienced by the one first-handedly. You know, those that think that when they will die, they will immediately become the one. Well, in that case, it is easy for the one to construct everything because he constructed all the experiences ever. It's all his imagination and it's all in his memory. So he knows what to do because everything that ever existed was created by him. And so he is doing it. He can do it because that's his nature. But first of all, I did not have experiences that would show me that this is the case. So I don't believe that the reality is constructed in such a way. And second of all, if it would be true, then that would be quite sad, because everybody we would ever encounter, because if that theory would be true, then I would be the God, the one, and everyone that I ever encounters is just a little more than a common computer bot, if we want to call it this way, because it's just a mindless object of interaction, nothing more. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but still, let me give you the other explanation and you will see the difference. The other explanation talks about the one multiplying itself by splitting itself while remaining whole. Maybe you've saw my video where I explain this theory. And now we have multiple awarenesses, multiple ones that are basically the one, but because they are multiple, they are in a way different, and they have a meaningful interaction with each other because they are different. But when they interact with each other, how do they do that? Of course, we cannot explain this exactly, because our human experience does not provide us with enough analogies that would be 100% accurate. But we have two analogies that are good enough, at least for our attempt of simple explanation. And the first is, of course, a dream, because the same way we interact with people we know and with people we don't know in a dream, the same way we interact with other people in this thing we call our reality. And the second analogy is the analogy of a computer game. To be more exact, an online multiplayer game. And I'm not a big game player, but let's just use what I first-handedly played, and that's the only multiplayer game I ever played, and this is a first-person shooter. You know, when you play a first-person shooter, you are inside of a game, and you are inside of a physical environment. And when you hit the wall, you hit the wall. It hurts. And when you jump from a tall building, you'll die, because the physics will tell you that you must die. But still, that physics, it's nothing more than a computer simulation that we call our computer game. So in that computer simulation, we play with other people. Of course, it's a multiplayer game, But when we play our game on our computer, there is only us behind our computer. All the other players are playing their game on their computer. It's the same game because we are interacting with each other on a server level. But is it really the same game? Because the server is giving us information about other players, information like their statistics, their location, and all the other information that can come handy when you are playing a multiplayer game. But all the other characters, they are constructed on our computer. So if we would have a filter, for example, that would create all the characters white, we would have all the characters white. And another player would have a filter that would create all the players black. And another one would create all the players Asian or whatever. We can have a filter that would create all the players with pointed ears. But still, the source would be the same. The information from which we would create other players would be the same. And that information, if we go out of a computer world for a moment, that information is stored in our previous experiences, is stored in our common experiences. At the end of the day, some information is stored because we are all one, and some information is stored in what people like to say Akashic records, and so on and so forth. But when we enter this world, we use this information for creating this world, the same way that we use information that is stored on a server to create the game on our computer. The game is not created on the server. So at the same time, we are interacting with other people that do exist and do not exist. It depends on how you look at things. But the fact is that they don't have to really exist in your world for you to be able to experience them. Just as they don't have to really exist in your dream for you to be able to interact with them in your dream. So you see, there is no need for a physical earth and a physical world for us to be able to interact with each other. And there is a small thing I guess all of us experienced at some point in our lives that I can bring up to reinforce my idea. Do you know when you have a relation with someone, it can be a romantic relation, a good friendship, or maybe the other way around, maybe you hate someone, you have an unresolved business with someone. You encounter that person everywhere. Maybe you live in a big town and you encounter him twice a week. You go on a business trip, unannounced business trip on the other side of the world and you encountered that person there. But then that relation gets resolved in a good or in a bad way, but you don't have anything to do with that person anymore. You could live in the same street and you don't see that person again for years. I know what you will say, or maybe not you, but the mainstream extremist would say that's all coincidence. Not a chance, not a chance. So my friend, I wish you a pleasant creation, a great co-creation. And I just want to say, respect all other people. Because even though they might not really exist inside of your creation, they exist outside of it. If your ego is telling you that it is pointless to like, comment and share my video with your friends, don't always listen to your ego. Listen to your heart, my friend.